kind of, oh, look, a hot mess. Ooh. Ooh. Hello. Uh-oh. Let's turn that down. You're about to be in my weekly vlog. Look at us. Just waiting on Mark to come downstairs. But we are going live. Thank you for joining. Thank you for being on time. Look, everybody else late. You on time. Even Mark is late. You're late. You're gonna have to turn off that dishwasher too. While we waiting on Mark. It's posted on the Bradley Party of Six story. Hey everybody, we are live on YouTube right now. So come join us, join the fun. We have some good topics tonight. Come join us. Hi Rochelle. Samaria, am I saying your name right? Samaria. Hey girl. Hey Erica. Mark on his way down. He upstairs. I don't know what he's doing. Can y'all hear that dishwasher? Is that dishwasher too loud? Because I'll pause it. Just let me know if it's like too distracting. I'll go pause it. And if you can't hear it, that's good too. Let's see. Where's Justin? Oh, you can't hear it. Okay, cool. It's like right here, so maybe it's just me. You late. Hi, Tammy. Thank you guys for joining. We get so excited. We're like so excited to do these every other week. We have been having so much fun doing these, and I hopefully you guys have too. I'm so happy. I've been getting good feedback.
You be like taking up the whole camera.
Oh my, you just come down here complaining.
I'm just saying, you be taking up the whole camera.
Should have been on time.
Excuse me.
Come down here complaining. Oh, I like to hear that. How is Orange Theory going, Rochelle? Have you done any of the Hell Week workouts? I'm on today was day 3. Tomorrow will be day 4. And then I'm going to finish it out on Sunday for day 5. Which ones have you done? I did the burpee one, which was awful, especially that 12-minute run for distance at the end. I did the burpee one. Today was encrypted elevations or something. I did that. What was Sunday that we did?
Did we do Sunday? I didn't do Sunday.
You didn't do it with me, but we went back to back. No, you ended up not going.
I said no.
So it's Monday today, and I have another class scheduled for 8:45 in the morning tomorrow.
Yeah, I seen that.
We skipped that.
I usually do Tuesdays. I'm actually skipping out completely on Hell Week. I'm on a wait list for Saturday. But I was like, nah, I seen that. I'm like, I thoroughly enjoy working out, and I hate the rower. Like, I hate rowing.
Rows be crazy sometimes. We did a lot of rowing today, too, like a good amount. It was a 3G class, and we did a good amount of rowing. Catch Me If You Can. We did Catch Me If You Can, too. He went, like...
I made it all the way to the second to the last. I almost made it to the end. I did 2.3 miles on Catch Me If You Can. I got caught at the 2.3 mile mark.
I did 1.3. I was dead, man.
Yeah, I got caught at the 2.3 mile mark on Catch Me If You Can. I could have kept going, but I was like,
Daddy always trying to FaceTime. Okay. Yeah, I got. Can I re-FaceTime him on here? Like for the kids? I go take it to the kids later. I'm sore. I feel it. Hey, Daddy.
Yeah, Catch Me If You Can was real. Cece like backed out completely. She didn't even really try. Like she could have pushed through and made it, but she didn't even really try. So I guess once we see where everybody is, we'll go ahead and kind of get the night rolling. Kind of a light audience tonight, so we'll see where we at. Muscle repair after workout. Muscle repair. I have a muscle gun that I use, Rochelle, for it. Like it's like a massage gun that I use. I probably use it like the evening after I do at least a mile, because I need like a nice masseuse. And I also use. I'm huge on protein, so I probably take a nice little Tylenol and a couple scoops of protein at the end of every night to restore all that muscle tear down. So that's what I use to get it back going. And obviously a ton of water always helps with that also. How long you been going on Orange Theory? I know, yeah, Cece said you just started, so I know it's them first couple of workouts are really intimidating. So I can only imagine what Hell Week has been like. I'm, as an athlete who used to work out like tons and tons, I'm intimidated by Hell Week. So I can only imagine how it's been like. This week has probably been crazy.
Y'all still talking about that crazy place? Oh Lord, I'm back. What y'all drinking on tonight? You know you gotta have a drink, or at least a drink suggestion for everybody. That's the price of admission. I got Behringer Pink Moscato, something basic tonight. I went to a winery yesterday. Oh my God, I had the best Riesling.
What do you have surgery on, Rochelle? I'm actually like dealing with a rotator. I feel like my rotator cuff is like really, really bothering me, like on all shoulder workouts. So I really been like trying to go easy. I don't want to go get surgery. I hate the doctor. So like that's kind of where I am, is like I'm just kind of pushing through it, but it sucks. Water is the key to muscle retention, muscle growth, everything.
I think she was saying she is drinking water, because that's what y'all drinking on.
Oh.
I think nobody's. Hey, Sean.
Plantar fasciitis. Yeah, I had both of those. I actually tore my ACL when I was playing college football, and I suffered from flat feet. So we all in the same boat there.
I'm drinking water. Well, I'm drinking my Pink Moscato. I think that's all I'm gonna have tonight, though, because I got to get up for that workout in the morning. Right. Nursing will kill you. Yeah. I have a friend who's a nurse, and she said that COVID has been. Why am I talking about? I feel like every time we get on here, we talk about COVID. I guess that's life. Yeah, because. But the hospitals have been better lately. Hey, Dad. What?
MJ sleep?
Yeah, he's asleep.
Oh, okay. All right.
All right.
See you later.
All right, Dad.
Bye.
Bye.
Yeah, I remember working 12s when I was in the hospital, and I used to come home beat. Like honestly, like I work 5 days a week now, and it's obviously it's working 5 days a week is rough. Like everybody else in America, I typically work like 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. or 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. But them 312s used to kick my butt. So I definitely understand nursing is a whole different element. You come home beat up, you're tired, pulling patients up, pulling patients down, flipping patients.
Salute y'all.
It's a rough task.
Definitely salute y'all. All right, so you want to talk about our topic?
Yeah. So trending, obviously, today is big. Is we had posted it on our Instagram. Was what you guys thinking about Will and Jada, or what Jada said about her and Will's relationship?
Have y'all seen it? I'm gonna pull it up while you talk. I'm gonna pull it up
So
we cannot misquote anything.
Yeah.
Hey, Stephanie.
So actually, it was funny because watch someone misquoting, because I've seen this topic like floating around and a lot of people like hitting on it and talking about it, but I feel like they taking her words out of context and like what she said out of context. Like if you didn't actually watch the interview or like read the interview, if you did more than just read the headline, you're not really understanding what she's trying to get at.
Why is the first thing when you Google, what did Jada? And the next thing is, what did Jada do to Will? What did Jada Smith say? What did Jada Smith do? What did Jada say about Will? Like those are the first things that come up on Google. I cannot. What did Jada do to Will? Why are y'all Googling what did Jada do to Will?
So like what they like the headliner, like if you only read, which I feel like that's where we are now, is like we only read the headlines and we run with it. Like nobody reads the article. Like, and if people click on the article, they only read like the first excerpt. So I don't know if like how many of y'all got like Ricky Smiley in y'all area or like his national show. But like I was telling her, like I was getting into work, the car driving to work this morning, and Gary was talking about the situation. And the way he talked about the situation was completely out of context from the exact way that Jada was talking on with Gwyneth Paltrow, and the way, even if you read the article, like it wasn't even close to what she was trying to say.
No. So like even, okay, so I'm on revolt.tv, and it says, the headline is, Jada Pinkett Smith says it's hard, in quotation marks, to maintain sex life with Will Smith.
But that's not what is, that's what she said, but that's not like, I feel like when they stop the, they like stop what she says there and don't add on the fact after 20 years of marriage.
What she actually said was, it's hard. The thing Will and I talk about a lot is the journey. We started this at a very young age, 22 years old. That's why the accountability part really hit for me, because I think you expect your partner to know what you need, especially when it comes to sex. It's like, well, if you love me, you should know. If you love me, you should read my mind. That's a huge pitfall.
And then she's saying that in the sense of like, not her, but in general, is how people view sex in a marriage.
First of all, I feel like people, one, he just said it, people only read the headline and then people just run with it. Oh, Jada's talking about Will again. Why is Jada talking about Will? And I feel like I feel like we've heard those comments before, that people appreciate us talking about the struggle. Like we've talked to y'all and told y'all about financial struggles and about marriage struggles and stuff that we've actually been through. Like stuff that we've actually been through. We talked to y'all about that stuff because I feel like it's nice to hear. I don't know that I saw that when we had first gotten married or when we were thinking about getting married. I don't know that I really saw people talking about stuff like that. It was all, oh, marriage is great. Either marriage is great or marriage is bad. It was one or the other. But it's never why. Marriage is great. Okay, why? Or how do we get to make sure it stays great?
Happily
Or
ever
what type of
after.
things are you going to go through? Like, because you're going to go through stuff. And I feel like I appreciate them talking about that, because I was saying something before, and I was like, we've been married for 9 years and we've had struggles. I can't imagine the struggles that they've seen in 23 years. Like, you can only pray to be married for 23 years. That's definitely not common at all. So, I mean, I want to say I feel like people need to stop their business, but I guess it's them on the red table talk. So they want us to talk about it. But I feel like it's helpful to talk about. It's helpful to other people. And sometimes it's therapeutic for you too. But it's helpful for other people when you talk about that sort of stuff, just so they know that everybody is going through struggles.
I mean, I feel like breaking down what she said, one, I feel like when you're talking about long-term relationships, you're talking about in most cases, hopefully you're talking about a monogamous relationship, which anything you do, no matter how much you love something, like I love tacos, but if I eat tacos every single day, you're going to get a little bored with it. And I think that's what she was.
You bored with me?
I'm not bored with it. I need it.
Is that what you're saying?
What she was saying was, like, after 20 some odd years of doing something, that's what she get into on the actual topic. 20 years of doing something, you gotta find a way to toss some flames, get something sparked. Like, 20 years is a long time to be with one person and one thing and get repetition, regardless if it's Will Smith or your person that your sex symbol that you think that you in love with or enamored with. That's a redundant measure, and it gets over time. It's kind of like, okay, I did that. We did this. We did that. We did this. We did that. What are we gonna do now?
Not only that, but you have to maintain a sex life while you may be angry at this person sometimes. You may be upset that they ain't put away the dishes that night. You know what I'm saying? There's more elements to it than just that. That's why people always like, oh, it's so easy with the side person, with the other person. Yeah, because they ain't been walking past your dirty clothes all over the floor every day. That's why it's easy.
Rochelle said they need prayers and Jesus.
So why you say that? You gotta explain that comment.
Unfortunately, Kilmore said, unfortunately, drama and negativity sell. I don't per se think that they going, because I don't per se think they're going for drama and negativity. Obviously, I don't know what, I guess in this sense, in this day and age, stream sales. So I don't know what kind of revenue they're making off of Red Table Talk conversation.
Table Talk guy.
That's true. So
they getting paid something.
Obviously, Jada ain't making no movies no more. I don't know what Jada do behind the scenes. So
she don't need to.
She don't. You're right. Jada is between her, what she did and Wilden did, and the kids doing now, they don't never need to do nothing else again and except for life. But I mean, I don't per se think that Jada is doing it for click. I honestly think sometimes people do things. Me and her was talking about this earlier. Like, one of the reasons why we do the videos that we do and put the stuff out, because we want people to know, like, you're not alone in the way you feel about things and how you go about and how life is going. Like, sometimes, like, we even talk about, like, this Cleveland bubble we in. Like, you got a Cleveland bubble, and you got an Ohio bubble, then you got a United States bubble, then you got a world. Like, it's a whole big world out there of people going through exactly what you're going through, and they don't know you're going through that. And you think you're going through it by yourself.
That happens a lot. Like, you look on social media and you just be like, man, this couple ain't having no problems. This couple ain't having no problems. They ain't never been through what I've been through. They ain't never had no problems like this. And then you start talking to people and peeling back layers, and you realize, man, everybody was going through it. Everybody had been going through it. You might even been going through it at the same time. You just never brought it up. So it's I like the transparency, and I appreciate the transparency, because I feel like people, they're, what are they, 50?
In their 50s.
Yeah. I feel like people...
And they've been dating since they was at the high point of both of their careers.
Yeah.
Yeah, they was like both at a high. I mean, when they started dating, I mean, they was at a 90s. They was in the 90s because Pac was still alive when they was dating.
Right.
Yeah.
But that's what I'm saying. I feel like people their age too and older, it was always like a, you know, we don't say anything about what goes on in our household. You know, we don't say anything about what goes on in our household.
We'll go on these four walls, stay in these four walls.
And I ain't saying you gotta tell people everything, but I feel like a lot of people like that. People older, I feel like a lot of stuff was just kept secret. So then you got the next generation who just like learned on their own. You know what I'm saying? Maybe what they saw they thought was perfect, and the way they went about it might have been all wrong, because if they'd had a little guidance, a little insight that no, I would have changed this. You know, I know my marriage looks okay, but I probably would have changed this, and that probably would have made it even better. So
I know I'm gonna say this, and then we're gonna read a couple more comments. Is that too cool for school mantra is a thing. Like, I know even among my circle, like I try to be like that voice that don't like per se fit in, like among my friends and married friends when they start talking about like how shit is rough. Like maybe I go outside my marriage and you know, cause I ain't gotta deal with that shit. I'm like, no man, you know, you gotta fight through that shit. Like, and it's hard to be the person that's talking about the real aspect of it in 2010. Always appreciate the transparency. Social media only usually shows the perfect picture side of things, and that's not real. That's so true. Highlight reels is what we call social media. Social media is literally like the highlight reels of most people's lives. They don't like show the 10 turnovers in a basketball game. All they show is the slam dunks. They don't.
I think that's for good reason. But I think so. I feel like social media is just, it's a double-sided coin, because I don't want to. I feel like there's enough negativity in the world. I don't need to scroll social media, see you fighting with your husband. I don't need to scroll every time I scroll social media, I don't need to see the turnovers. Sometimes I just want to see the end result and be like, dang, I can get there. But
you want to know that it took you ain't just wake up.
That's why I said I think it's a double-sided coin.
You ain't just wake up running 2 miles in 12 minutes. You ain't just wake up doing that.
That's why I said I think it's a double-edged sword, because I feel like even on our YouTube channel, I feel like we show or we talk about maybe some of the struggles we have or some of the things that we're going through, but then at the same time, I'm not about to be on camera fighting with you. Like,
we don't fight, but at the same time, we talked about our fights and our ups and downs and our tribulations, and it worked through like understanding like where Jada and Will are in their are now, and her to be able to talk about it is because they are at a place where they comfortable with where they are in their lives now, and they can talk about that stuff. I don't feel like you can talk about that. You can't. What Jay-Z said, what the quote is, you can't recover from what I can't remember the exact quote, but you can't heal what you ain't never. You can't heal from what you ain't never recovered from. So you can't talk about it if you ain't comfortable with talking about it. It's not the line, but that's what I'm saying.
I'm pretty sure that ain't it.
You can't. That's what it is. You can't heal what you never revealed.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can't heal from what you never revealed. So if you don't talk about it, you can't heal from it.
Yeah. What you did to get him or her is what you have to do to keep them, go on dates, agree, get out of the house, rekindle new things that turns you on in your marriage. Definitely agree with that.
Yeah. I feel like a big thing is talking about having conversations in peace and not in argument is big.
Explain that.
So when I say conversations in peace is like, it's easy to like y'all at each other's throat. So this what you do to piss me off, this what you do to make me mad, this is why I'm not good. And y'all at each other's neck, there's tension in the air. Obviously y'all gonna be spatting at each other. The time to have those conversations is when y'all good. Like when you like in a good place. Like, hey, you know, we had a good week this week, but is there anything I could have did to make this week better? Or, hey, I know we doing this right now, but what could I have done to make this better? Or, I know you said you liked that, but did you really like that? And if you didn't, what can I do to improve that?
Yeah.
Like those type of conversations is vital.
Or even maybe something that got on your nerves.
Yeah.
For the week. Like,
Like
you got on my nerves on Wednesday. I didn't want to say anything to mess with the mood at that point, but I just want to let you know I wasn't too fond of that you did. But we good. I've gotten over it, but I just wanted to let you know. So
I think that's huge. What you just said right there too is like knowing when to address situations. And we're getting way off topic. We're gonna come back to Will and Jada, but knowing when to address topics is big too. Like all times, unless it's like something that's like really boiling, like addressing a situation in a bad time can cause for a really bad situation.
It can blow up unnecessarily.
Thing. Yeah.
Hi, Gigi. Mari said, well, there's a book coming out. They know what they're doing.
Will got a book? I didn't know that.
Yeah, he's been talking about it. But I don't feel like she said, I feel like it wasn't her that blew this up. It was the headlines that blew it up. And
then, the Bengals, I forgot the Bengals ain't playing on Thursday night. That makes sense why Mara on here.
But I feel like it wasn't her that blew it up. It was because she didn't say nothing crazy. It was just something she said on her Red Table Talk. I feel like it was social media that blew it up. Really,
people taking the whole thing out of context is what blew it up. Like, obviously, you got the August stuff, and then so their sex life is already out there, and then taking this whole thing out of context just catapults it. So
yeah. So the Packers are playing right now.
Yeah, I know the Packers in there. I'm just messing with her. I know the Bengals. They're going to be 6-2 on this weekend. They playing the Jets this weekend, so I'm just messing with her.
People sometimes only show what they want you to see, or they always only show what they want you to see. Chill on social media, you never know what people are going through behind the scenes.
That's very true. I always say that, like, be kind. I love that saying, be kind to people, because you don't know what demons they fighting. Is a real thing. Like, last thing you want to do is to blow up on somebody or be talking shit about somebody, and then you find out they hung themselves the next day and you was talking shit about them and you had no idea what they
got really dark.
I'm just saying it did, but that's real. Like, you don't know what demons people are fighting behind the scenes. You really don't know what demons, and it's like maybe posting is making them feel better.
That's true.
Making them feel better about their life. Maybe like something that their husband did or significant other did is making them feel better, and they want it to be known, want it to be seen.
There be a lot of times I be on Facebook like, girl, like, I just know your whole life and I don't even know you, but I know your whole life and I'm waiting for the next story because you just keep putting it out there. Like, it happens all the time. Like, I just be like, girl, what he do now, girl? What did he do now? And you see them cryptic messages and they be like, I thought he was the one, or you had you something good or something like that. And I'd be like, girl, what do you do?
I'm going to say, so speaking on that, the old, what's the word? Be wary of false prophets. That make me think about your whole situation with your friend or your associate, and people posting about happy quotes and things that they happy with in life, when actually that ain't really their life. They're trying to make it seem like something different, which is it's scary. Like that portrayal and that front that you can put on social media.
I'm trying to figure out how to say it without saying who it is. So there is this girl.
I mean, she been on Shade Room. Why can't you say her name? Ain't like she ain't been on Shade Room.
I guess you're right. I don't know. So I went to, and I don't really know her, and I never really, I wasn't like We weren't like friends or anything. I mean, we were on a couple of sports teams together. Like if I saw her, I'd say hi, you know. But I graduated with, and again, I don't know that this even matters, but so I graduated. Do you guys remember when Lamar Odom was dating old girl, the last girl he was dating, Sabrina Parr? So when they were dating, I graduated with her, so I know her. But when they were dating, and it was like the entire time they were dating, she was kind of like she was on lives telling people, and I think they only dated for like 9 months. It really wasn't long, but the entire time she was on like lives telling people how to have a successful, happy relationship, and how they have a successful, happy relationship, and how to get and keep a man and all this stuff. And I was like, oh, like, okay, so even before they broke up, I was talking to Mark, and I was like, I swear to God, they only been together for like 7 months. How is she teaching people how to have a happy, successful relationship? And why are these people listening? Like, I tell y'all to take what we say with a grain of salt, okay? And I know my relationship, but what I do don't work for everybody. Take what I say with a grain of salt. I'm warning you. That's what I'm telling you. And they have been together for like 7 months. And they was like, excuse me, they was giving like seminars and stuff like that on how to have a happy, successful relationship. And then they broke up. And I was like, yeah, because that just didn't sound right. Who teaches somebody how to have a happy, successful relationship and they only been in a relationship for some months?
They not only just broke up, but they broke up and she admitted they had been miserable their whole relationship.
And I'm like, first of all, like, we got to stop looking at these people, anybody, as perfect couple, or like I be trying to nip that in the bud so fast. Like, stop looking at these people, anybody, as like the perfect couple. Like, come on now. Like, that, first of all, it doesn't exist. And I'm not saying that there aren't people who have successful relationships and people that you can learn things from, because there are plenty of people that you can learn things from when it comes to relationships. And again, everything is taken with a grain of salt, because your relationship, or everybody's relationship, gonna be different. But man, stop looking at people. Like, everybody will say that stuff about, like, before all this Will and Jada stuff came out. Will and Jada was, black couple royalty.
I'm just saying, couple goals in general drive me crazy. And it's coming from people, and not even that, like, pat on the back, whatever. This is coming from people who tell us, like, oh, y'all couples goals, y'all marriage goals. So we've heard that before. I literally despise, I tell her that, like, I hate when people say that about us. Because, like, if y'all knew what we go through and what we have to, like, fight through, I mean, not saying that we don't have a successful marriage and it's work every day. It ain't like us, like, oh, you wake up. I literally feel like millionaires talk about this shit. Like, it's work. Like, people who look at millionaires and be like, oh, you got it good. It must be easy. It must be great to have all this money. And they be like, no, it's work, dog. Same thing with being in a successful relationship or a successful marriage. Like, it's work every single day. Like, we just went on a date on Tuesday, and we was having relationship conversations. I'm reiterating to her, like, you good here? What can I do here? Like, combos like that. Like, it's real. Like, you don't like that false. I hate people who claim that they got the answers to relationships, because there's no what's the word I'm looking for? There's no perfect answer to how to have a perfect relationship. It doesn't exist. It's not real.
These men crazy, girl. Because these men crazy, okay? They crazy. Ain't no way to predict they crazy. That's all I'm saying. So there's no way to even predict that. None. I'm just letting you know in case you didn't.
Anyway, let's go back to some comments. I'm not even addressing that. The Packers, huh? That's because people sometimes only show what you want them to see. Exactly. I feel like a lot of things we go through in life. Oh, did we say? Oh.
Mm-hmm. When you can fart in front of them, it's no turning back.
I'm still, Cece still, we are, what, 13 years in? I don't think I've ever, like, purposely heard, she, in her sleep, she has, but she has never purposely farted in front of me. And vice versa. I've never done it in front of her. Purposely, not purposely. So, Hush Packers on the screen. I haven't even checked the score. I need to know what the score is. I got Kyler Murray in my on my one team. I need to check the score. 2020 was really tough on my marriage. We really had to peel back a lot of layers. For so long, my husband and I were just existing. Now we are living and really working on communication. I love to hear that. Communication. If y'all watch Dear Mr. and Mrs. Bradley, that's literally our preaching point. Everything we do is communication.
It all comes back to that. It all comes back to that.
We communicate on, hey, I want to work out this. This is what I'm thinking about working out this week. What do you think about this workout schedule? Are you okay with this? Hey, this is what I'm thinking about. I can cook this week. What are you thinking about that? Hey, this is what I'm thinking I might do this. Hey, this is what I'm thinking about. We have conversations about titles for the videos that we posted. What do you think about this video?
We're probably over communicators, but it works for us. We're probably over communicators. Even I was having a conversation with my friends a couple months ago, and one of my friends, and she was like, do you guys talk to your husband during work? And I'm like, yeah, every day.
We literally talk.
Sometimes all day. We'll sit there with our AirPods in and just
FaceTime. We'll be FaceTiming each other while we're working with our AirPods. She'll hear me talking to customers, and I'll be like, oh yeah, so what you were saying? We'll go so
I'll see some posts and they oh, I don't need to talk to my husband every day, or I don't need to talk to my husband a lot or during the day. And I'm like, I don't necessarily need to, but I want to. I have things to say.
And I just think it's helped our relationship, our marriage, because we are on the same page. Because it was so much of our marriage, the beginning of our marriage, that we weren't on the same page, that I think now that we've gotten on the same page, this helps us stay on the same page with each other.
Man, I'm telling you, it'd be 3 hours. I'd be like, he ain't. Because you sure ain't picked up the phone.
Article too long with table talk episodes. I ain't mad at them. Get that book promo. I mean, hey, what they say, no publicity, all publicity is good publicity. There's no such thing as bad publicity. So, I mean, I didn't even know Will had a book coming out. So that's just all more publicity, because I didn't even know Will had a book coming out. I did see him, you know what? I did see him signing papers today with Jada.
I knew he had a book coming out.
I didn't know what that was about.
But I don't feel like she said anything that would that to me that felt like reaching, or that felt like, oh, this was oversharing. I didn't feel like she overshared. Got to start asking for receipts. Exactly.
What you see there?
Said listening to folks that promote things they don't even have.
Oh.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, I mean, that's one of the things we was talking about earlier when I was talking about a post on Facebook, and I just was like, people who haven't even been in a marriage, let alone a long-term relationship, how are you even commenting on this?
That was Robert's post.
Yeah, how do you even comment on it? You ain't never been been married, and you ain't never even had a long relationship longer than a year and a half, dog. What can you possibly have to say about this topic? You have no data on the topic at hand. So
yeah,
your opinion doesn't really matter here.
Tripping. Couple goals. Yeah, couple goals. Exactly. You don't really know someone until you have struggled together. That is
true. That is true.
People change when they in the struggle.
That is true. I mean, I feel like that's really a big proponent. Like, you don't really know somebody until they down. How they gonna act, how they gonna react, how they gonna treat you, how they gonna lash out at you, or how they gonna, need you. I mean, or that's huge.
Derek Jackson. That story just went away. I need to Google what happened to that.
I made a whole video on that, y'all.
That story just went away.
I
felt like that girl was being real extra. I don't think she was lying, but I felt like she was just being real extra. But yeah, he's a scumbag too.
I mean, I feel like people eat up what they want to hear, and that's what Derek Jackson did. He fed.
Oh, and what he's still doing? He's still selling shit.
Oh, I mean, that's the thing. No disrespect. What I'm about to say, it's a nice looking man who was catering to women, telling women per se what they wanted to hear, as opposed to my man, what's his name, Dr. the Samuel dude that everybody be mad at.
That dude gay anyway. He likes penis.
How you figure he gay?
I'm pretty positive.
You just made that.
I'm pretty positive.
This is how you get sued for slander. You cannot just say somebody is gay with no evidence.
Allegedly.
Allegedly where?
He likes penis. I'm convinced.
Why? Because he say what he say about women?
No. Just look at how he looks. He's so spicy.
I don't think he
is super zesty.
They took like 2 or 3 pictures of him and posted it.
That dude is zesty.
When you see him on his videos, he do not look like that. I think he hard.
Y'all know who we talking about? That dude, he is zesty.
Like I said, as opposed to Derek Jackson, who was telling women what they wanted to hear, he telling women the truth to an extent.
That is happiness.
All right, we moving on. We're moving on.
You're not gonna convince me otherwise.
I don't want. I'm not touching that.
You will not convince me otherwise.
I'm not listening to financial advice if your money ain't right while listening to relationship advice and haven't been in a committed or successful relationship. Exactly, Mara. That's dead on. I mean,
people be relationship experts.
Huh? I don't even think that's the thing. I guess you can per se put us as a successful relationship. And when I talk to people and I talk to my friends or couples that I'm cool with, at the end of everything, I'll be like, y'all do what y'all want to do. This is what works for us, but y'all do what y'all want to do. I end that with everything I say. I'll be like, but this works for y'all. Do what y'all want.
We're going to say that in our video. Y'all ain't going to blame us if something don't work.
This is what we do that works. But if it don't work, this is how it works for us.
Oh, that's a good question. Oh, wait, let's get to this. I don't want to be like any other couple. You can be inspired, but I don't think you should try to be, oh, yeah.
No, definitely.
What's a successful relationship?
I feel like to me, how I would define a successful relationship is 2 people who communicate and understand one another and are on the same page with one another physically, financially, and spiritually. And it don't really matter what nobody else think about y'all relationship as long as y'all on the same page.
On the same page, and I think also that's a loaded question, because I think when you talk, but what I think, this is what I heard when you asked what's a successful relationship, because I always think about that too. Can you consider a successful relationship somebody who you didn't end up with?
Can I consider?
If we broke up today and it was like nothing in particular happened, we were just like, oh, we grew apart and we just feel like friends or roommates. Nothing happened. Maybe everything was amicable.
I think
can you consider that a successful relationship?
I think that's still an understanding. You will understand that y'all not on the same page with one another, and you don't see life the same way no more. But most relationships don't end like that because
they don't. But I'm just wondering, is that like a success? I don't think a successful relationship has to end with us like all the way to the grave. I think if it was a long-term relationship that was mostly good, I think things happen in relationships. So I think if it was a long-term relationship, or a relationship, I should say, that was mostly good, and that maybe you got something out of it, you learned something, and for the most part, it was a positive experience.
What is an ended relationship ever considered positive?
Yeah.
And maybe if you're looking back at it in retrospect, like I can look back on my, even though Cece don't have exes, I can look back on my exes and basically consider all those, for the most part, successful relationships, because they taught me, and I feel like they've molded me to be a better partner. But would I consider those a successful relationship? No, I don't per se think so. I feel like I said, I feel like a relationship, if you're talking about like partner relationship, is both people on the same page. Like marriage, couples, we're on the same page. When we're not on the same page anymore, it's not successful.
You're correct. Girl, we so far behind. I don't even know what you're telling me I'm correct for, Erica. Sorry. 20 years married. I love that. They are crazy. Maybe that's what I'm maybe that's what I'm correct about.
Men are not crazy. Man, I'm the most simple, laid back, easygoing person to like. I'm probably the most simplest person she ever dealt with. So
whatever.
I'm not.
Whatever. I'm saying, oh my God, y'all haven't farted in front of each other.
No. We have not like I said, purposely. Sleep. She's kicked me out of a bed before. She's kicked me like down there, like she almost like messed up my hamstring. She kicked me so hard before because I was snoring, but never because of farting. But yeah.
I need my sleep.
10-7 Packers. Kyler ain't doing what he's supposed to be doing there. Men and women just have different ways of communicating and interpreting what we have to say to each other. I feel like that's a big thing too. And Gigi, what was that? Oh, yeah, Gigi said that. So I feel like not leaving anything up into interpretation is a big part of communication. Like making sure that what you said is interpreted the way that you meant to say it is key also in a part of communication.
Yeah. Like, maybe you think you're saying something a certain way, but you're not. So just making sure that the other person heard you the way you intended it to come out
is big. Because if it don't, then that's a whole nother drama and situation that is not what you want to deal with.
Yeah. Being best friends is important. What?
Nothing. What? You and your best friend.
You are my best friend. You're not even my best friend.
I know you. I am. This girl right here, you talk about somebody, I'd be like, let me mention anything. So Tuesdays is my day off. Let me mention one to do anything on Tuesdays that was not required, but implement her or she's not a part of. It's a problem.
Because Tuesday is our day. That's why. People are afraid to communicate because they feel like they're going to hurt each other. Have to have those conversations. Have a safe word and just know how marriage works.
Safe word.
That's what I do agree with that. Everyone's afraid of hurting each other. But I think the older you get, you realize the more secrets you keep, the more you don't say, you end up hurting each other more in the long run because of that.
I got a partner who I remember having this conversation with some years and years ago. And his words was me like, "Oh, you say that to CC? Oh, you said that to CC?" And I was like, "Yeah." He's like, "Man, that's pretty blunt." And I was like, "Oh, well, how is she gonna know that I'm not happy if I don't, or not happy with that if I don't tell her?" "Oh man, what did she say to that?" I'm like, "What can she say to it? I mean, she sit there. It's not the most satisfying, or it's not satisfying at all to hear that you in any way that you just."
You got the heat on.
71. It's not satisfying in any way to hear that your partner is not happy with you at all. Like, no matter how you cut it, you can be nice, you can be blunt, you can be around the bush about it, but at the end of the day,
be uncomfortable.
yeah, at the end of the day, your partner is not happy with you. So that conversation is going to be rough in general. So it's like peeling off a Band-Aid. You kind of just got to get to the point with it. As long as you ain't being like rude with it, I think you got to put that stuff out there.
Yeah.
And he was like, well, what does she say to her? I'm like, she take it, and she's taking it, and she listening, and we move past it. Now we here, and he's still having issues in his marriage.
Why are you putting people out there?
I'm just saying, because that's real. Because you gotta, like, if you don't address that stuff, if you just let it bubble, eventually it's gonna boil. Because like, no matter if you got the pot, you can either cut the pot to have the pot simmer at a 1 and it just keep bubbling to the point where it boil, or you can get to the point and get it over with. Yeah. And figure it out.
Grandfather lived to be 101. He was married twice. Second marriage lasted 50 years. Whew. That is amazing.
Communication is the key to marriage. I love that. I mean,
my parents have been married for
36 years. 36 years, yes.
36 years.
We'll never forget that.
I almost did.
I will never forget how long your parents been married.
My parents got married on his 2nd birthday. So their anniversary is shared with his birthday. Zesty. He is zesty.
Moist.
Kevin Samuels, ain't that his name? He is zesty. Don't act like y'all ain't seen that.
I don't think he's zesty.
I do. He got his little man bag in that picture.
I would say yes to me. I would say yes to me. Successful is the relationship, pushes you both to be better people, better partners, grow / develop / advance, mutual benefits, same page, good communication. Yep. I think that's that.
Those are all great factors.
Yeah, all great factors.
It was 60 years.
Man, that is.
Man, you deserve everything. You stay with somebody 60 years and don't kill them. You deserve it.
If I ever end up dead, y'all, or anything like that, y'all just know. Y'all remember these conversations.
You get on my nerves sometimes, y'all. That is amazing. And just, it's super inspiring to see that, because we just don't, like our age, we just don't see that. I have friends. So I got friends that have been divorced twice,
In their 30s.
Yeah. My age, been divorced twice. Yeah. I know several people like that. And I know even more people, I know a ton of people divorced once. And a ton of people on their 2nd marriage.
I always wonder, so like, if you get divorced, or like, did you try? Like, what classify, like, at what point, and me and CC have had this conversation numerous times, like, at what point, and this, I feel like this generation we in now is so like
engaged and never get married. I know a lot of those. Go ahead, sorry.
But I know a lot of those. This, I want it now, it needs to be perfect now generation that we in, and it's so like I feel like we give up on things so quickly if it isn't exactly how we want it to be right then and there.
I also think that's a double-edged sword too, though, because you were saying we give up on things so quickly, but I think from the stories that I've heard, for the most part, it ain't just been like, oh, it's not right, let's get divorced. It's been like, oh, it's not right, so let me go cheat. And now I'm hurt, so now we're going to get divorced.
Or that, which, I mean, I think a lot of marriages can take, or it's not right, but we're gonna get married, and it'll get better when we get married.
Yeah, I think also a lot of people also just marry the wrong person. And I've said that before. I think as humans, we get to a certain point where we're just like we get to a certain point in a relationship where we feel like I have to continue on or I've wasted all this time. If we don't continue to move forward, whose TV is that? If we don't continue to move forward, if we don't go ahead and get married, if we don't continue this union, we didn't already been together for 5 years, and now I didn't wasted time. Yeah. So I'm not about to tuck my tail between my legs and be like, this ain't right. I'm gonna just keep going and pray that it gets right. I think so many people just marry the wrong person for fear of I've wasted so much time.
Especially if you start dating in your 20s, you feel like your 30s is the finish line. Like, all right, I dated him, I kicked it in my 20s, I kicked it in my early 20s. We've been together in my late 20s. We're supposed to be married in my 30s. And now that's the finish line. Now I'm supposed to start life. And then you kicked it with this person, and you spent 6-7 years with this person, and you feel like, all right, this person I'm supposed to be with. When in actuality, you probably should have left this person a long time ago. Y'all ain't been right, but y'all been going through the motions with each other for all these years, and now you're here and like, all right, we're supposed to be married, and we get married, and it's like, we should not be married.
But I think that's part of it. To circle back, like I think that's like when we talk about people giving up so easily, I think that's also a double-edged sword, because it's like, well, how much do you take before you let it go?
But that's the thing too. So I'm gonna say something and I'm gonna hit on, spoiler alert, if y'all ain't watched You, something that what's her name said in You about choosing your life partner, which I thought was so dead on. Like, you to an extent choose your life partner because you choose what y'all gonna work through. You choose how much commitment you're going to put into it. You choose how much work you're going to do to make this relationship work. And if you want to work through infidelity, if you want to work through financial struggles, if you want to work through whatever, you going to work through it if this is a person you feel like I want to work through this with.
I agree with that, but I think so many people marry somebody who ain't want to work through it in the first place, right, or who they shouldn't have got with in the first place.
But that's why it's like, y'all both gotta want to work through it. Like, you both gotta work. I chose you as my life partner. You choose me as your life partner. We are gonna get through whatever is in front of us, and we're gonna work through it together.
Yeah. Well, first marriage failed because we didn't communicate. Made a promise with my fiance. Once we stop communicating, we'll not go any further, and we'll just walk away. I think we talked about that 2 weeks ago. I think people get like that after, whether it's because they're getting older or after you have like some sort of experience or bad experience, and you just kind of like, look, I'm not putting a whole bunch of effort into something that I see is going nowhere. Like, you just know better the next time, or the older you get, the less patience you have for stuff that just is not for you. Process of divorce. I'm so sorry. Can't force people to change. That is so true.
Yeah, that is true. Been in 9th grade. Wow. Oh my God.
But see, and I'm not saying this is what happened to you, but that's what happens. I feel like you're like, so say you do get with somebody at 14, 15, and even you could even be only 24. Say you're only 24. Even at 24, you'd be like, man, I've already put 10 years in. And I can't walk away now, even though you're so young at 24. Yeah. It just sounds, 24 is almost half your life or 10 years is almost half your life at 24.
But then you think at 24, 48, like, you look like,
clearly, yes.
You got like a lot of lives to go.
But at 24, that's not how you're thinking.
And especially as young, when we young, we don't think about that. We just think like a year of school, a year of, like, especially like that, like, you talking about, like, and this ain't no disrespect, like, you feel like I gave this person my whole high school life. I gave this person my whole college life. I gave this person my 20s.
Yeah.
I'm in my 30s now. Like,
yep. Probably should have never been married in the first place. That's what I say. I think a lot of people marry the wrong person. Married for the wrong reasons.
You need to get married by 30s, BS and some folks. But yeah, I definitely think like
the closer you get to 30, the more you realize that may not be realistic. Like I feel like, I got married at 25.
I was 29.
As I look back, I even feel like that was kind of young. But I feel like the older I get, the more I'm like marriage by 30 is not. It is realistic. Obviously, I got married, but at the same time, when I think about it, it's really not. Like I didn't really like date as a full grown adult. I was with.
You keep saying I was 20. You act like I was 30 when I met you. I was 25 years old when I met you.
You had a whole child.
I had one.
I think you dated.
It could take one. I can have sex with one person to have a child. That don't mean I dated. I was in a whole ass military.
But you were an adult though.
I was 25.
I was not like. As a full-grown adult, not even living off my parents, like I didn't date like that, and so I didn't date in that stage. I was already with him, and so the more I think about it, I'm like, man, marriage by 30, like
it's crippling to an extent. Like
especially if you got that in your mind and you with somebody and you're trying to like pressure them to get married because you feel like you need to.
I feel like it's like it's like we just talk. I ain't gonna hold y'all. But I feel like it's a double-edged sword because it's kind of like you date and you do all this stuff in your 20s. You kick it. Like, what's the point of your 20s? Like, you want to have fun. But if you're having fun with somebody that you love and you want to be with,
right, then
that's cool. But if you kick it in your 20s and you meet somebody in your 30s, that's cool. But if you kick it and then somebody, because then that's when your quote-unquote red flags coming apart, and it's like you're in your 30s and like, why you ain't married? You 31, 32 years old. Why you ain't married now?
You also don't know. I feel like in your 20s, you also don't know yourself a lot either. And shoot, I was a whole nother person from 21.
But I feel like
to 20, even 25, 26.
But did that come because you was 21 and 26 because you was you, or did you change because you was in a relationship?
I was growing.
Right, but you wouldn't have grown as the same person in a relationship as you were single.
No, but I would have still been different. Those years from 21 to 26, I mean, we're talking about me moving out on my own and
right, but you could have
just becoming a full grown adult.
Right, but the way you matured could have been different in the sense of like you could have matured in the facet of like I don't need you could transition to the point of like I don't need a man, I don't need to be in a relationship.
No, you can. But what I'm saying is that person from 21 to 25, no matter how you mature or how you change, you're gonna change so much. And I think a lot of that too, you just, you don't know how you're going to change or what opportunities you're going to get in your life. And so it's like, it almost sounds crazy to tie yourself down to one person when I think back at this age, when I think back about it.
But tying yourself down, that's why I don't like that sentiment because it's like sentiment. Because it's like, if you find that right person, I don't think there's an age that goes with that. I don't feel like,
I don't either. I'm not saying there is. I
know what you're saying. I know what you're saying, but I don't feel. I hate when people say like, "Oh, like enjoy your 20s or enjoy your teens," or like if I'm 19 and I would have found the person that I feel like I'm gonna be with for the rest of my life at 19, then we're gonna rock with each other from an age of 19 till I die.
Well, obviously that's how I feel. I'm with you. I was with you my entire life.
I'm not saying. I'm just saying like in general. I do feel like I don't like the per se like attachment that you need to be married by 30. I hate that. Like I hate stereotypes in general. I hate married by 30. I hate degree by 23. You need to have your college degree by that time. Before you go from high school to college, you're supposed to have your degree. I hate all those stereotypes. I don't think none of those are real facets that you should put on anybody.
I agree. Didn't even know what I wanted in my 20s. I know I would have been a mess. I was a mess. I was a mess. I was. I get it. That's what I was saying. I wasted 20 years, but the blessing that came out of it was our children. We have a son that's, a Marine and a college graduate with a bachelor's degree in business science.
That's awesome.
That's amazing.
And that's how you got to look at it. Like
you learn
living,
something.
Yeah, you learn.
And you like don't ever think it's that it was just wasted time. It was a lesson, and now you're wiser from it. You have 2 blessings out of it, and I'm sure more when you think about it. And now you just.
I feel like that's why I love that mantra. That saying is like, no failed relationship is a failure.
Or failed anything.
Yeah, no failure. Yeah, is a failure because you take, as long as you learn a lesson from it, you're a better person.
You got this, girl. I know that's rough. You got this, girl. Let's hear. Oh, you.
What's that? What?
She said, I love that series, but it was crazy. It was crazy, but the themes were actually very related for real relationships.
Yeah.
They really are.
Like Joe was so and I hadn't even broke this down. And I just said, spoiler alert. But Joe did not want to be in that relationship. But that was the whole mantra, I'm staying for the kids. Like Joe was like, I'm staying for the kid. I'm staying for the kid. And we all know, I think now, I feel like this generation is really catapulting that whole mantra. Don't stay for the kids. Don't stay for the kids. Like, live your life. Because kids pick up on toxic relationships. And you can't stay for the kids. And he was staying for the kid. And he was staying because she was having his baby. And, like...
He about to kill her. At the end of season 2, she'd have been done. It wasn't for little Henry. Or
which
40.
Was supposed to be
40.
Which was supposed to be little Diana. He thought it was going to be.
They both thought it was a girl. Fiance had been together for almost 20 years, and he just asked me to marry him last year. Invest in my time. You're right. It is his loss. You have been, Rochelle, you have been very patient. 20 years? What made you, if you don't mind me asking, what made you stay? No, she said, if he walks away, it's his loss. What made you stay for 20? And see, that's another thing. Is marriage like the end all be all? Like if this person is a good person and they treat you right. We got a relationship.
We got a friend relationship like that.
Say they treat you right. They're like the perfect person. Except for they're just refusing to asking you to marry them. Like, is that the end all be all?
That paper.
I feel like it would have been for me. I would have been like, you don't love me, and I would have left. I feel like that's what I would have done. That's what I would have said probably, or what I would have thought. But then again, you said you've been married before, so. Maybe
like
not.
I would say that like our relationship is different because I feel like if the stuff is crazy because I feel like the stuff that we preach and we talk as a couple that's been together for 13 years.
We just talking, girl. We just talking. There's really no subject. Like always. We just talking. Go ahead.
I feel like the stuff that we talk about and we preach 13 years in, we've both said like our thought processes probably would change if we got divorced tomorrow. Like the way we maneuver and do things would probably.
I wouldn't be able to be with nobody.
The way we maneuver and do things would probably be completely different because we feel like everything we've done together, we've built together. So we got a mindset like that. So if we were to be starting with somebody new, her sentiments is if she was a millionaire with a millionaire, it'd be something different. But my mindset would be, it would be a conversation piece.
This is the only person seriously, this is the only person I trust. So if I would have to learn to trust somebody new, I mean, I just don't know. It's some crazy people out here. Man, I've been listening to my murder stories on my podcast.
Oh my God.
It's some crazy
people. Can we not talk about your murder story podcast?
It's some crazy people out here is all I'm saying. he's scared. He is scared, and I don't want to rush into another marriage. I can understand that. I can definitely understand that.
What do you think he's scared about, Rochelle? Like, you guys been together.
Again?
You guys been together for 20 years, didn't you? 20.
Yeah, she said almost 20
If
years.
you put 20 years into a relationship, what's standing in front of a room full of people and telling a room full of people, I'm with this person?
You don't even gotta do that. You just gotta go to the courthouse.
That's true too.
I think some people though, it's just like
people
a couple
think
of like
forever,
as soon as you put
forever.
I think people just think as soon as you put the word marriage in front of it, something goes wrong. Like people really think that. Like as soon as you get married, like things just go wrong because you see that sometimes where it's like they were together for all these years and then they broke up as soon as they got married, and you're like, well, how did
Miguel. Miguel was dating that girl for 17 years or 16 years.
And they were married for
4 months. They got 4 months?
Not months. I think it was 4 years.
4 years. Yeah, I don't think it was 4 years, like 2 years.
Something like that.
And they got divorced like after 2 years of marriage. And I was like, that's crazy.
I feel like that tells me though you probably had problems before and you probably shouldn't have been married. But I think people just blame it on.
But I feel like
we got married
because it's so easy to like. I feel like, and that's how I felt like within our relationship. Like once I stand in front of God and my family and tell God and my family, this is my woman. I can't cheat. I can't do nothing else. Like I'm not going to cheat. I'm not going to do anything besides be right to this woman. So maybe if you ain't got that marriage, you can feel like, oh, I can step out of my relationship. I can do whatever I want to do. And it's not that whole like. Not saying, Rochelle, not saying that I don't want to be painting that picture for you, but I'm saying like maybe that's the thought process is if I step outside of my marriage or my relationship, it's not as bad because we're not married. I don't know. I don't know.
People cheat in marriages all the time.
Lord, yeah. I don't know.
I thought you about to say, Lord knows I do. I was about to be like,
it's the end of this live.
What?
That's the end of this live. Yeah, no.
Oh, yeah, I'm about to be like, somebody bail me out of jail right now. No. If you have a desire to be married and your partner doesn't want to get married, doesn't that mean you settled, compromised in a relationship? I think it depends on how much of a desire you like. How much is marriage a deal breaker?
How much you view
because you're gonna have to compromise on some things. You're not gonna be on the same page with every single thing with your partner. That's kind of like Mark was like, oh, I'd have been fine with only one more kid.
I was fine. That's dead on. No,
we have 4 upstairs.
No, dead on. Queese, y'all love Queese. Y'all see Queese in the vlogs. I don't know if I've told y'all this before, but Cece came to me. What Queese is what, year and a half now? Cece came to me middle of it's probably like April of 2019. 18 and said, do you want another kid? I point blank said no.
Well, we have been talking back and forth about it since we had Mariah. We had really been talking back and forth about if we wanted to, if we didn't. I kept wavering. He kept wavering.
And I said no.
And then he did say no. And I was like, well, I do. So we got to do it. And so that's what happened.
She said, would you be would you be mad if we didn't have another kid? No. I would not be. I would perfectly be fine with Morgan, Mariah, and Mari. That would be it. I would be fine with that. And she said, I would not be fine with that. And Marquise Jr. is here.
So, I mean, you gonna compromise on some things. Y'all ain't gonna be on the same page about every single little thing. I think you have those major deal breakers. So for me, I feel like marriage is a deal breaker. If you was like, I just don't believe in marriage, you're not the person for me. If you was like, I never want to have kids, you're just not the person for me. And there's those things that are like deal breakers for me. But how many kids? I mean, if we talking about I wanted to have 10 and you wanted to have 1, I think that's a deal breaker. But if we're just talking about, I'm like, oh, I want to have 3 kids or I want to have 2, I think we can make a compromise there. Yeah. So you're gonna compromise somewhere.
But I feel like, I mean,
you're gonna be compromising the whole marriage.
But if marriage is that important to you, to because I feel like she talk off the topic sometimes. If marriage is that important to you and is not that important to the other person, I feel like at that point you got to have a real conversation with yourself about accepting, like, I want to be married and this person does not, and I need to remove myself from the situation if I really want to be married and this person does not. Because then I feel like then you will find yourself resenting that person 10 years later, and they really like steadfast, like, I don't want to be married.
Right.
And you really want to be married, and you've been with this person for 10 years now, thinking you were going to get them to change and to marry you.
Yeah, that's just stupid. That's just dumb.
I don't think that's dumb. I feel like people, that's the thing. I hate when you do that.
You can't.
I hate when you do that.
It's
But it's not stupid though, because you love somebody and you want them to want what you want.
You do.
But I don't think that don't make nobody dumb because you want somebody to want what you want and you love them.
I think the thought process is dumb.
I don't think that though. I think people want, you find somebody, you like them. Like, I like this person. Okay, now I love this person. I want them to want what I want because I intertwine with them. We mesh.
I told you they didn't want that.
Right.
It's a different. I feel like it's a.
But I feel like that's different. Like, I don't like what you like. We don't like what I like. You ain't cooking what I'm cooking. Whatever. But I like you. I like being around you. I love you. We mesh. We work. Hey, we 25. I don't want to be married. Oh, okay. Well, he don't like being married now. Now we 30. You're like, oh, maybe he or she, because that's the thing, like, you don't get the whole background scene of everything. Maybe that he or she person might have been like, oh, maybe I might get married, but I really don't want to be married. Maybe they might have entertained it. Like, that's the thing that we don't get with every story.
Well, if they entertain it, that's different, but they just say point blank no.
Every single time, then no. Yeah.
Expectations change. Wife and husband titles are heavy. I agree. I think that scares a lot of people, and I think it also comes from like your past, any past traumas you may have had. Maybe your parents had a bad marriage and you're like, I never want to be like that. That happens all the time. So titles do get heavy for some people. I don't see expectation. I guess maybe for some people they will expect. And I think that all that social like that stems from like
I feel like that's social media.
I never really understood you're doing wife things at girlfriend prices. I never understood that. Like, people are like
that's a wife responsibility.
Yeah, I never understood that.
Like, if y'all like, I feel like that goes back to out of wedlock stuff. Like, if we living together.
Oh, now a kid, that's a wife responsibility. Don't no kid for no who ain't committed their life to you. But that's a wife responsibility.
Even like when you decide to live with somebody out of wedlock, you washing your clothes. I'm washing clothes. I'm washing clothes. We washing clothes. That's not like that's not a wife responsibility.
The only thing I can think of that I would say is a wife responsibility is having children, stuff like putting your finances together. Yeah. Those are commitments.
Like co-signing on cars. Yeah. Co-signing on houses.
Those are commitment-worthy responsibilities.
Like, if we live together, and I'm not washing, like, if I live with my dude, if I'm throwing a pair of basketball shorts in the laundry, he like, hey, can you wash my shorts too? That's not wife. That's not. Now, I'm not folding your shit. Maybe that's a wife responsibility. But I mean, like, I don't feel like washing clothes is a wife responsibility. Like, if you only person washing clothes, maybe, or if you only person cooking dinner, maybe. But yeah, I feel like those titles have been, made by social media.
Well, I don't think it's social media because that's always been a thing. No. That's always been a thing, I think. What? My mom told him she can do the ceremony. We don't have to spend money or a big wedding, and he's comfortable. That's all you need. Ceremony is too damn expensive.
Says the person who wanted a big ceremony. and getting another big ceremony.
It goes back to communication. Do you expect different from me as a husband or a wife? Did you expect anything different from me? I don't think.
No.
I feel like we kind of stayed the same.
I
and just
expected
evolved.
a couple of different things, but you know. But no, I kind of knew what I was getting into.
So if you really met me, you would know I'm a happy mess. I get it. They assume the person will come around eventually.
That's it. Yeah.
Don't assume that.
That's true. I mean, you feel like you marry somebody or you commit to somebody and you kind of like, if we do this, this is what I want or this is what I expect from you. But marriage don't change habits. Habits change habits.
People are very traditional and some are not. Cooking, cleaning, sex, kids, money, working. That's true. Those conversations you got to have up front. So you have to have those conversations.
You have to have a front. You have to have every week, every 2 weeks, every 3 weeks.
Because your views can change and they're allowed to change. So you just got to make sure you continue to be on the same page with people about that stuff.
Yeah, I mean, literally, like I said, we just literally had this conversation this Tuesday. We've had that conversation. We had this conversation a couple of months ago. We had this conversation, but after you had MJ, we had this conversation while she was pregnant with MJ. Obviously, shit changes when you're pregnant, and like life happens, and life changes everything. Like you can't expect one. Like this is how we doing things. Every day, every week, every month, every year. Like,
you can't.
Like, everything is evolving. Like, everything is evolving.
All right, y'all. We done kept them for an hour and 21 minutes.
What's the last thing I said?
Those are things that need to be discussed when we think about marriage. So before we let y'all go, Brandon Blackwood dropped tonight.
All right, I'm going upstairs.
Brandon Blackwood dropped tonight. Did anybody get a bag? I got 2.
You got what?
1.
You said what?
Small one. I just got 1 small one. Did anybody make the drop? Because I did, and I'm very excited. What is you looking at?
What bags you got?
I get no bags. Go upstairs.
All right, let's see what.
I thought you was going upstairs.
Oh, I'm back. I'm intrigued.
Go upstairs. So, what is you looking at?
What's the price tag on this? Let me see.
Why? Why'd you on my face?
Because I want to see.
Goodness gracious. Oh, I've been looking at those. How do you say them? Dagny Dover? I've been looking at those. I got this one. I got 2 trunks.
You got 2 trunks, huh?
Can you leave me alone? I got, you can't really tell because of the lighting. It's it's like a really cute camel brown color. It's so cute, y'all. It's so cute. And that's the regular size.
I'm going upstairs.
Good. So it's chocolate brown with silver hardware. I had the chocolate brown with gold hardware in my cart and it got sold out right as I was about to check out. I was so upset. And then I ended up getting this one. I got the mini trunk. That one's a regular size trunk. And then I just got the black, like mini trunk. And I'm so excited. I think most of them are sold out now. Like it was like I got on there, I think at 8:03. They dropped at 8 o'clock tonight. I got on there at like 8:03 and it was already a bunch of stuff sold out. And I was like, dang, I missed out on another one that I wanted, but I did get those 2. And I cannot wait to that quad pay. Okay, so this is what I did. Since he gone, I paid for 1 full price, and then so he wouldn't know I bought 2, but then I just told on myself. I shouldn't have drank all that wine. I just told on myself, so he wouldn't know I bought 2. I paid for 1 through Klarna. So I got 1 through Klarna, and 1 I just paid for straight out. So he didn't know. But then, like I said, I just told on myself. So let's see if they have any left. But yeah, I definitely did. They still have some left. They have some of the Arlen bag left. Okay, here we go. Here we go. Thank you, whoever's grabbing them. Oh my God, I don't understand. I don't understand how people got so much time on their hands. I really don't. They still have some Arlen bags left. They have some wallets left. The Bowen bag. Well, these were cute, but I didn't want to pay $250 for another bag. But the Bowens are really cute. You got one? Which one you get? Which one you get? I wanted, so the Bowens were cute, but like I said, I just bought that Tofar bag, and I had just bought a Coach bag, and I bought a Marc Jacobs bag, just in the last couple of months, and I'm like, I can't buy 3 of them, because I also wanted the jumbo KUEI, however you say that. I wanted that one too, but that one is $385, and I don't want to pay that. So I stuck with the trunks, and they were $145 for one and $165 for the regular size one, the big one. Getting a bag haul. Y'all already saw them. Y'all saw all of them except for these. I'll do an unboxing for these, but y'all saw all the rest of them. I already hauled them. I think it was like a month ago, if even that long ago. It might have been earlier this month. I already hauled all the bags I got. I'm not getting no more bags. I am done for the winter. No more bags for me. I don't even wear purses all like that. Like sometimes I'll just take my wallet. Like today I went out, I just put my wallet in my pocket and I left, and that was it. I don't even really wear bags all like that. But they're so cute. And now I got my little closet and I got a place to display them all nice. So I'm excited about it. All right, y'all. It is 1:26. It's 1:26. It's 10:57. We've been on here for an hour and 26 minutes. I'm gonna let y'all go. I am sweating. That wine was I don't know. It was only, I think it wasn't even half full. And I finished it, but that wine was a little tipsy. So I'm gonna let y'all go. I love you guys. Thank you for jumping on. Oh, I didn't even know he was down there. I come up the stairs scaring me. I'm like, who is that? But yes, I am sleepy. So I will catch y'all 2 weeks. 2 weeks from today. We will be back doing another live. If you have any topics or anything like that, make sure you let us know what you want to talk about. And we'll bring what happened. I had a clothing haul drop today. I had my Sephora recommendations video drop on Sunday. Just so you guys know, that'll be dropping Sunday at 11 a.m. on my channel. And then on this channel, I think a video is dropping. Tomorrow's Friday. So a video will be dropping on Sunday. So make sure you guys stay tuned. Thanks for watching. Bye, y'all.